Hello and welcome back to the podcast. I'm Leche.
And I'm Tito.
Yo, Tito, I know this week it's kind of hectic, yo. I feel like we've been both on the grind and shit. But let's start off with the usual, bro. What are you drinking today, dude?
It's been a rough week, like you said, and I had a couple of beers before the past few days, so I'm just sticking with some water right now just to refresh myself before starting work again.
Not to say, please drink responsibly and stay hydrated.
Always. What about you? What are you drinking?
Same, bro.
Water.
So I'm drinking some coffee myself, so I'm just trying to stay a little bit loose. Definitely just get some caffeine because I'm definitely going to need it probably for tonight, unfortunately, because it's going to be a long one for me.
But like, not to put your business out there, but at least you work from home. You get me?
That's the good thing,
it's
honestly.
It's not like you're going into an office and staying late at an office and then trucking it back home.
I definitely do not miss that, bro. Fucking coming home at 1, 2, 3 a.m., dude, just to get back into the office at freaking 8 or 7 o'clock in the morning, dude. Definitely do not miss that.
Yeah, so, no.
Luckily on that end, for sure, dude. But, you know, we got some surprising stories, honestly, this week. At least I think I find it surprising because, you know, especially from our first story where we left off, you know, everyone had the consensus of where it was. And I'm surprised they even, you know,
pushed it forward.
They pushed this forward, bro. And I'm talking about specifically that Cyberpunk 2077 is getting a DLC, bro.
Yes.
That is nuts to me. Why? Don't know. How? I don't know. Where did the money come from? Because I'm sorry, dude. I mean, it sold well, don't get me wrong. But like, critically, it got panned and all that bullshit. So many issues from launch. And
like, again, I hate comparing it to GTA, but that's the most basic thing to compare it to.
It was supposed to be the competitor to it, honestly. And I would agree with you on that. Yeah.
And like, even just from how many, I mean, we're going to open this can of beans all over again, where the amount of delays, the amount of quote unquote time put into the project and money put into the project, but still like basic world animation types of things are still better in GTA that has been out how many years now?
Almost a decade or over a decade at this point. Yeah.
It's almost a teenager.
Decade. Yeah.
It's almost a teenager.
Nuts, bro.
Where like if a car coming down the street, you shoot the tire in GTA, the tire pops. You shoot the tire in Cyberpunk, you're still driving normally.
Yeah.
You shoot in the water, you get a splash animation.
I mean, you could say the game literally came out half-baked. Like, they needed more time on it for sure. Like, from launch, the first month, bro, there was a slew of issues. Like, down to, like, the animation, the controls, the visuals, all the bugs, all the clipping and all this stuff, man. There was so much issues. I mean, luckily, a couple of months after the launch, they did come out with a mega patch pretty much that fixed, like, I say, like 70% of the issues. But it already burned goodwill. You get me? That was the bad thing about it.
Yeah,
like, there was nobody playing it at that point.
No,
I'm sorry. Go for it.
And even no, you're fine. You're completely right in everything you just said. And still, with the 70% mega patch, the amount of that 30% still changes somebody's entire opinion on a game. Where if it's like groundbreaking bugs that you're not even going to be able to, like, you're going to keep glitching out in the same scene and not even be able to move forward in your storyline. What the fuck am I doing with this game downloaded on my device or this disc in my hand? Like,
I mean, look at it. Within the first, like, I think 2 weeks, dude, old gen consoles, I'm talking about like Xbox One and PlayStation 4, couldn't even play it, bro.
Yeah.
They couldn't even play it. That was insane. And how many, because of the number of bugs and the loading issues that they had, it was insane, dude.
Yeah, and at that point too, that is your main some of your main clientele right there, because a lot of people still haven't had their hands on the new gen consoles. that was supposed to be able to hold and run this game smoothly.
Yeah.
And even
But
still, they were experiencing their own types of bugs and shit. So it's like,
yeah, but with that new patch that they did like a couple of months after that, it did help the stability of the game a lot. They got some goodwill back, but I mean, dude, most people already checked out. You get
yeah,
me? It was already a game dead in the water, unfortunately. You get me? Maybe this will, spark up people's, interest again. The DLC is literally called Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, and it's literally the concept. It's kind of a touchy subject in my opinion on like where it's leading to. It's literally like radical United States type of stuff. You get me? So it's a little bit of a touchy subject,
so,
but in games like this, it is found phenomenal in my opinion because it literally does spark interest in that type of stuff. You get me?
yeah. And you see, that's what I love a lot about a lot of games. They do touch on very
Hard, like
hard
shit, like
topics that it's sometimes hard to talk about in person. And if they do it very well, it
it'd be a very
starts
compelling
up,
story.
it's a very compelling story. It starts up conversations. It goes to people like, yo, you need to play this game. It touches on this, but they do it phenomenally.
Yeah,
You get me?
exactly.
And that was partially the whole thing with BioShock, you get me? Because it brought a different type of like how to rule a world
Yeah.
mentally.
There was just like, don't get me wrong, like you said, BioShock, keeping on that subject, like there was much more to the story than just, a city underwater.
Yes.
There was much, much more. Like
Hmm.
there was so much depth into the story, it was just kind of nuts now thinking about it. Like if you actually paid attention to everything, like all the dialogue, all the things people were saying, it is a very tragic game. Like
Oh yeah.
super tragic, dude. Like
Yes.
it's ridiculous, dude, how sad that game is.
Hmm. Yeah, and it just goes like the whole thing with BioShock and going like how a lot of them started using Adam and Eve, and like getting power hungry. It's the same thing as with money. People get money hungry that they'll do whatever it takes, coming down to the borderline of murder and going socio
Yeah,
sociopathic
losing their
to
minds pretty much.
losing
Like
your mind to just get this one thing that's only going to satisfy you for
a moment.
so long,
The
a moment.
dopamine,
Yeah.
literally, like it's crazy.
And that's
Yeah,
just BioShock 1 and 2, even though 2 is more like a little preface to 1.
yeah.
But then,
It's
like,
a
even
little bit
it,
different. But then three is completely just out of it, and it's its own can of worms for sure.
yes, because now with 3, it touches on a whole subject of religion.
Yeah, that's when it gets like, oh
That's where
shit,
it gets started.
okay.
And
And
that's
that's what it
why,
makes the story so good, though. You get
yes,
me? Because it hits real world topics in the game, and it extends not only just one side. Like you see both sides, and then you notice that neither side is right or wrong, and then that
yes,
makes you the player choose. You get me? So it's
exactly.
like it makes you think outside the box, which is phenomenal in my opinion.
And the fact that, like, with BioShock, they could still expand the story because now they could take on other types of, like, how to put it, like world
World events, like
views, world
world views,
events, like running from like a democracy to a dictatorship, which we
yeah,
kind of
or
see get like bits and
monarchy, or
pieces
like
of
anything like that,
monarchy,
like
which
straight up.
and this is what I mean. You see, look at how we've already pushed away from Cyberpunk because BioShock has such a great way of storytelling that unless this is gonna hit those notes, it's just gonna get swept under the rug with the rest of its game.
For its sake, let's hope it does. And you know who's gonna help with that shit? Keanu Reeves, because he's actually, and he teased that he's coming back for it as well.
Yeah.
Like he's coming back as like a tidbit for it for the expansion, pretty much,
Hmm.
which is cool, because I think he was the selling point in my opinion for some people. It'd be like, oh shit, Keanu signed off on this shit. Yo, that's dope. You get me?
Yeah.
So, but who knows, man? Like, I really do hope. Um, it does well, but I doubt it, man. I have my doubts for sure because they already lost too much goodwill on that end.
Yeah. I mean, again, we never know. This might be the comeback for it to come back.
They could pull out a No Man's Sky. You get me?
No Man's Sky.
That's the greatest example ever, dude. Literally for a game, like as a comeback, bro.
Yeah,
you know?
But I mean,
we'll see,
it's either gonna be one of two things. It's gonna be a No Man's Sky situation, or it's just gonna end up being an Anthem situation.
An Anthem situation, dude. Seriously, bro.
Because even Anthem tried having its expansion too, and that was gonna be with its big bug fixes, and it still didn't work, unfortunately for them.
Even with the major bugs fixed on Anthem and the new expansion they were gonna do that was free for all players who bought the game, they literally said, "Nah, dude, we're just gonna scrap it, dude.
Yeah,
we rather let our our developers work on other things." Excuse me.
Yeah,
that was so hard to say right there. But yeah, dude.
And I never want to wish anyone ill, especially with passion projects like this, where people put so much time and effort and energy, and it's what they do, it's what they love doing, and just to see it crash and burn,
it sucks, dude.
Yeah, but hopefully, if it does crash and burn, whoever was working on it, the teams that was working on this, end up moving to something bigger and better.
Yeah, dude.
They just learned from this. They learned from this.
But. Yeah, dude, for sure, dude. And talking about redemption, right? Like potential redemption, dude. I don't know if you heard, but I've been hearing a lot about Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser. Fraser, yeah. You know, the guy that came out in The Mummy, he was George of the Jungle, all that stuff, man. I know he lost a lot. He was blacklisted by Hollywood. If people, forget about that, because supposedly this is a touchy subject, okay? So just, for people out there. So supposedly he got assaulted by I believe it was his ex-wife. He was essayed. I'm not going to say it. But yes, they took her side on it, and he was blacklisted by Hollywood, and he was and then they found out that, yeah, she was the one lying and stuff like that. So he's been trying to get back into the fray of Hollywood and stuff like that. But luckily for him, he came out on a movie. I forgot. I think it was called Whale. He did such a phenomenal job on that movie. And this is over, I think he's been out of this, limelight for over 15 years, I believe. Or I think less than that. I think it was definitely over, I want to say definitely over 12 years, I believe. Yes. He's been out of the, limelight ever since. I think the last movie that I remember him coming out that was quote-unquote big was probably The Mummy 3.
I think there was one more after that, to be honest, but you might be right.
No, The Return of the Mummy, I remember that, but there was one about his son when he was older. It was something about the Dragon Emperor or something like that. I think that's the last one that I remember that was quote-unquote big.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah, so, trust me, this guy, he was part of my childhood because I fucking love the Mummy franchise for sure. So, in George of the Jungle too, that was a really, really fucking great movie.
Oh no, he had
other movies for sure.
Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Oh right, damn it, I forgot about that. Yeah, the first one. Yeah. I think that might have been the last one.
Well, it was in the same, because there was that one and then The Mummy that both came out in 2008.
Oh, okay. So
The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Or Dragon Emperor, yeah.
Yeah, they both came out in 08. So, yeah, 14 years.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Almost 15. Imagine that, dude. Yeah, but he got a 6-minute standing ovation from the premiere of that movie, up to the point where he was in tears and shambles. He didn't even know. He forgot how it felt, being appraised for his work. And I think people say that he is he didn't deserve what he got. You got me being blacklisted and stuff like that. So
100%. And it's no one. Well, I mean, obviously people deserve it depending on what's what they actually did. But yeah, imagine. I hate going back to this. I kind of wish we really did touch on it before, but it's imagine what the internet would have been like, or even films planning on coming out, if they ended up saying that Johnny Depp was guilty and Amber Heard was innocent.
Yeah, can you imagine? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, dude,
The whole
it would have had ripples for sure, dude.
100%, because then now the whole thing would have been with Jason Momoa getting torn down because he
Yeah,
took
he would have
Johnny
been probably
Depp's side.
yeah, he would have been probably blacklisted as
And
well.
that
And then
probably would have been the end of the quote unquote Aquaman scene from him, anyways, unless they reboot it and have another Aquaman up.
yeah, dude. It's crazy how this Hollywood stuff works. I'm not big into like the Hollywood like politics about people like getting canceled and all that other, you know, nonsense and stuff like that. If I think like an actual actor deserves the praise because of their situation and how they did on a movie, they definitely deserve to be praised for that movie, even if they did something bad. At the same time, you got to keep that in the back of your mind that they did something bad. A good example, I feel, of that, unfortunately, would be Kevin Spacey. You know, with his situation.
Yeah.
So, um, great actor, horrible shit he did. You get me?
Yeah.
And I think he deserves the blacklist that he got.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yeah, 100%. But like, like you said,
sorry.
like at this point, with what happened with Brandon Fraser, and then the whole world seeing he was in the right the entire time. He did nothing wrong. He was the innocent bystander. Well, not even bystander. He was just the innocent
Victim.
The victim, exactly. I know it's just a small thing of 6 minutes and it's just a standing ovation, but that is the start of
him coming back.
World,
the comeback story.
The world and Hollywood making amends for their error. You get me?
Yes. Same thing with the Johnny Depp thing. I don't know if you good.
I hope
to it.
I hope he gets his 1,000 alpacas, man.
Yeah. No, it was 1,000,000 alpacas.
A million from Disney.
But yeah, dude, a good example is of uncanceling him. They included his face. I don't know if you heard the story. There was an article written about this, a whole ass article just on this 1 5-second show of his face on the VMA awards, bro. On the, you know, there's a floating astronaut on the VMAs awards that was happening. Yeah. And they showed his face and he just said one line and that's it. There was a whole article written just on that.
Yeah.
Like hating on him though. Hating on him. Yeah, I'd be like, oh, why does he deserve this and stuff like that? You get me?
But like, now at that point, it's just depending on what the article was. You get me? Because obviously, like any sort of magazine or thing like that, they're always going to lead one side or another.
Yeah, they definitely were leaning, you know, against them.
Exactly. Sure. And then if you read another article, there could possibly be another entire article of that one line in a positive light.
Yeah. It was definitely.
It's just all depends on the writer and the type of company they're working for. And I hate that this is what it comes down to, but that's what it is.
Yeah, dude. No, but congrats to the freaking Brendan Fraser, bro. He definitely deserves it, man. I'm looking forward. I might even watch that movie because supposedly it's like really, really good, dude. It's about I think they said it's about like a chunky guy, about him like finding his happiness within himself and not like, you know, and all that other stuff. Like it's just one of those, you know, stories and stuff like that. Supposedly it's like supposed to be really relatable and shit like that.
Well, yeah, I would bet, especially with someone who was so physically fit and at one point was considered one of the most crazy handsomest mans in Hollywood at that time.
He was up there like in the early 2000s. I want to say like 2004. He was considered almost like Brad Pitt of like handsome. Yeah, like crazy handsome.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely hope this movie does very well and I mean, most definitely we'll start seeing him in a few more projects here and there because he's also getting up there in age. So we don't know how much longer he will be doing this, but hopefully he ends up being another Betty White. We'll just see him everywhere.
Yeah, dude. Hopefully, man. And I guess from here we'll just take a quick break.
Yeah.
So we'll be back, yo.
We'll be back.
And we're back from that break. Getting back into these other stories, we got some kind of crazy stories. Honestly, these next two. Starting with, I think it's a beloved series at this point, man.
I think it's
The
more
Dark
than
Pit
beloved if they're just cranking out these
is
games.
true, bro. I feel like every year so far that I've seen, there's always a new one coming out. Wait, is this the
We've
second one
This is
within
the
the year?
second one this year, yeah, because
Wow,
we
bro.
just spoke about the one that was the query.
The Query. So we're talking about the Dark Picture anthology, uh, The Devil in Me. So we got the first official trailer for it, I believe sometime this week. And my God, does it look interesting for sure? Like the other ones, literally. I think this one is a little bit more captivating on my end because this gives me horror movie vibes.
Yes, yeah, like the we spoke about it a little bit off air, but just to like repeat it for the audience and stuff. Like the other ones, yeah, they're all scary in their own sense, right? But the thing is, with the other ones, there was like a hint of like, yeah, this is just a movie happening as a
It's
game.
like it gives me the other ones, especially the Query and the first one. They remind me of like teen slashers. You get me?
Yeah. They
This
all
one
get
definitely has like a different category feeling of horror, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, like the other ones were giving me more like Supernatural the show type of
Yeah,
vibes.
yeah, something like that.
This one, like we said, was more like I got anyways a combination of like the Saw and the Escape Room movies
Yeah,
where
dude,
someone is like in charge of all of it,
controlling like puppeteering
puppeteering.
the
Exactly.
entire events that are happening.
And then we have like obviously Jigsaw being because we see like there's still a physical killer character,
Hmm.
but there are some paranormal aspects, but that's what makes it more scary because this one seems like this could definitely happen to somebody. You get me? Like it
Yeah,
could be
this
in the
looks a little bit more
news.
grounded too. Like it just seems a little bit more grounded. You get me?
Yeah.
Like this is like some scary shit that could really happen probably in real life.
Yeah.
The real question is like, do you think since they're doing so many, dude, this is literally the second one within this year. Do you think any of these stories literally cross over, if that makes sense?
I don't know. That'd be interesting to see because, like, as we've seen for a lot of them, the main, like, narrator character, the one that we meet in his office, he's like the doctor, therapist type of dude. He's almost the same in, like, all of them. You
Yeah,
get
he's
me?
literally telling stories. So I think this is my prediction, right, for this whole thing. I think they're gonna choose certain favorite characters of each of the anthologies that he's literally narrating.
Uh-huh.
And then he's probably gonna be part of the very last one that they decide to do as a grand finale type of thing. You get me?
Ooh.
So I think that would be the way to go. Honestly,
Yeah.
do like seven of these games, and then make it between the eight of them, right? So the narrator is the main villain. You get me? Because he
Yes.
is the one controlling the story or the
Yeah.
narrative. So that would be ridiculous, right? There is some slasher paranormal shit going on. So why can't he be an entity outside of that, right?
Yes.
So it's like, yo, some big brain shit right there,
See,
dude.
that's another thing. Because, now I'm just cross-referencing the movie. In that one, in the escape room, right?
Yeah,
The last movie was like Circle of Winners,
yeah,
everyone who escaped. So yeah, like you said, the last one is he's picking the winners, the survivors of each of these stories.
yeah.
And then there's just one massive story with
All of them.
all the
Yeah.
winners. You get me? Until there's one or they're all dead and he just says he's the lone survivor and the end.
The end, yeah.
Right?
Literally how it ends. You're like, no way, you're the only one, type of shit. Like, that's the stuff. Like, dude, I think they're just amazing at storytelling, dude. In my
Yeah,
opinion,
they're all
it's
of them.
amazing.
Like, even if you don't physically like playing them, seeing the different outcomes and how the story changes, and like you said, that all builds replayability and great storytelling.
Yeah, dude, they're amazing at it, dude. Literally, I don't see any other company doing what they're doing when it comes
Hmm.
to like the fucking just the work they're putting into it. Literally
Yeah,
cranking two of the same pretty much games
yeah,
with different narratives and different characters and stories in 1 year, bro, is kind of amazing,
it's
in my opinion.
incredible.
So, like,
And
bro,
they have to have a great writing team with sick minds to be writing
Little
this stuff.
fucking
You get
crazy
me?
psychopaths, bro.
But yeah,
But dude, it has so much potential, dude. Like, I'm hoping they do what we're talking about. Literally, just make one game. The thing isn't there like an option in every single game where nobody dies, right? So I
yeah,
wonder who is the actual like. I think in that last one, we find out what actual stories or links are
mhm.
the actual canon. You get me? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because in
But
certain,
at that rate, if we're going with like actual canon type of stuff and like scary movie tropes, it's always everybody dies but one person.
well, that's what I'm saying. So, like, technically, like, for example, in the first one, Until Dawn, like, who would you like? I know you could choose and pick and choose who survived, right? Pretty
Yeah,
much. So
true.
that's what I'm saying. So how would they figure that out on the on if they do a final version like the Reign of Champion type of shit? Who do you pick if you choose who dies, right?
I think at that point they would just go with the most
Popular
common person, with the most either the most popular character or the
for each
most
of the.
common person that gets saved. Because they have to have some sort of tracking of like,
Oh,
oh,
they
this
do.
person's getting saved
Well,
more often than
that's what
these
I'm guessing they
people. You
would
got
do
me?
too, because there is tracking shit like that you said in the games
Hmm.
themselves. So I do see that happening for sure. So they're like, oh, I see people save this character more, so we're gonna bring that one forward. You
Yeah,
know, like that's the more canon character, so we're gonna keep her progressing throughout the story if there's
yeah.
any continuation to it.
Because there's always that one option too every time. Like, do you save John or do you save Cassie? Save John or Cassie? And most of the time, I was like, well, John's the guy and Cassie's the girl, and my character likes Cassie, but he's best friends with John. I'm gonna save Cassie anyways. You get me? So obviously they're
Yeah,
not gonna pull in John if John's always the one to be like, all right, we're gonna kill him off.
yeah, he's always like gets killed first. Like, there's no way
Yeah.
they're gonna include that character, right?
Yeah. But yeah, it's either gonna be one of those two options or they just literally go, okay, who was our quote unquote main character in each of these
Pretty
games?
much, yeah.
Like obviously from the first one, if they go with that, it's gonna be like Hayden Panettiere's character.
Yeah, I hope so, dude.
Then with like the Query, if anything, it's gonna be Brenda Song's character.
Maybe. Is she the most popular one from that?
I mean, I don't know. Well, I'm not saying popular as in the character, but as like popular as in the
As Savior, that's what
person,
you
as
would
the
think so.
no, as like the actor, the real life
Oh,
actor, the IRL actor.
right.
You got me? So
Yeah, maybe, dude. I mean, there's so many options, dude. It's too many
it
options. That's
is
the problem at that point. I
between
think
all of them.
so. I think that's the good problem to have, right? In my opinion, though.
It would be interesting how they would factor all those things in.
Or maybe they won't just do that. They'll just continue doing
What
different
they're doing now.
stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
So,
because
in
right
my
now
opinion, yeah.
uh-huh.
Go.
No, you go. You go.
No, I was gonna get into like I hope one of these stories, just you know how they're all grounded here. They're just very grounded stories most of the
Uh-huh.
time, like just dark creatures and stuff like that. I want them to do a story, like if for example, if we're in space and shit, you got me? Like as a crew expedition, like you know,
Oh,
people who are in space and the like
yeah.
in the thing. So
Yeah.
stuff like that too. Like I hope they get to that point too, right? Like
Well,
the
most likely,
bigger settings, you know.
yeah. Well, most likely there will, you got me? Because a lot of these, from what I've seen anyways, a lot of these have always been like, how to put, like, not like cryptids, but like mythological creatures in our stories,
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
Like
Yeah.
we have the Wendigo. They did like a weird vampire character, like a weird werewolf. Obviously, the ghost ship. There's always some story of a ship out in the water that people see.
Yeah. This
Um,
one's leaning into like zombies and like very like demon shit, like stuff like
mhm.
that. So
Yeah. So yeah, they probably would be one where they encounter a
like
ruthless alien or
extraterrestrial shit.
their form of the xenomorph.
Yeah, like an alien type of shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
get there, dude, because man, the different stories, potentials that they could tell, man, is just insane. So wait, they have the one in the ski lodge, then the
Yes.
second one was the one with the Marines right in the caves, if I remember
Mm,
correctly.
no, that was the ghost ship one.
That's the ghost ship one. That's the
Yes.
second one though, right?
That was the second one. Yes.
Right, and then the third one is the query.
No, there's still a couple in between that, bro.
Seriously? Am I missing
Yes.
like two of them?
I'm looking it up right now. Um,
I would just type in the dark pictures of mythology and see
I
what
did.
pops up.
I did. But now what are
Maybe
these
the query's
spell
not even part of their
games?
fucking stories. That would be funny. Probably just a one-off type of thing on the side. It's not even from the same people, and we just gave them praise to that, and it's not even them.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be in the title if unless otherwise.
It would be in the title, and it's not for the query.
All right, so we got the first one, which was
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn, followed up by Man of Medan, which was the ghost ship.
Okay.
Little Hope,
Huh?
Little Hope.
Little Hope. Okay.
Yes, that one wasn't as popular as the other ones were, I remember, or we never even touched on it, but I do remember seeing some gameplay on it.
Yeah.
Um, House of Ashes, which was
Yeah.
the
That's the one I was
like
saying. The
Tomb
marines and stuff.
Raider,
Yeah, Tomb Raider shit, like inside the
yeah,
caves and shit.
yeah, which was like the supposed. What's that? Fuck, what's that movie
And
of the climbers that go like
the
into like
descent. Yeah.
the descent? Yeah. The Quarry, and now the Devil in Me. So that's
Okay,
what,
so that's
six?
6. So this makes number 7. No, this makes 6.
No, this makes six. Yes.
Still, fuck me, bro. 6. That's nuts. They're
Yeah.
on a roll, honestly, dude.
Yeah,
Don't
and
believe it.
two of them in the same year. Imagine.
Yeah, dude, that's nuts. And is it gonna sell? Of course it is, because fuck, these things are pretty good. People
They
love storytelling
they
in the
literally
fucking
set up
games.
a reputation for themselves. Like there's no.
Seriously, they have. I think they set their bar pretty high, and they're making it every single time, in my opinion.
Yes,
Maybe
and
not for that second one, because that second one does not sound familiar to me at all.
the third
No
one you
lie.
mean
No, the second one.
Man of Medan,
Yeah,
the Ghost Ship one?
yeah. I don't remember the fucking jack shit about that one.
Oh, I remember that one completely. It was Little Hope I didn't remember.
Oh, maybe that one is. Maybe that is the third one. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is the third one.
Yeah, because Man of Medan was the one. I remember that was the one with the Marines, the sarcophagus,
Oh, so yeah.
the
It is
coffin
this.
that was like
It's the
leaked out
third
of
one, the Little
gas.
Hope one. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you're right.
yeah.
I'm confused.
I remember because specifically there was the like the pinup girl in like the sailor outfit that ended up
Yeah,
being like a zombie and slowly turned old as she's chasing the guy down the hallway.
yeah. Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like again, it's set up it like you said, it's set a bar, and this is not one of those bars that they always have to one up. They just
No,
have
they
to
don't.
hit the same bar, and
Yeah,
they
dude.
have been.
Because they already set their tone. Like after that first one, their
Yeah.
tone was already like, this is how it's gonna go for like all our games. You get
Yeah.
me? And they literally make it every time. Maybe not for the third one because it was lesser known. Maybe there wasn't too much publicity about it. I think that's the
Yeah.
problem.
I
There was
think
not
that
too much
was.
hype about it. So not too much marketing or something like that. But definitely for the other ones so far, they hit their strides for sure.
Yes. Yes.
Especially Query so far. I think that one blew up like crazy, dude.
Oh, very
So
much.
much shit. Until Dawn definitely fucking blew up. There was a good month and a half of people literally going ham on that game.
Yeah.
So, um, but yeah, going from like exciting news about what the devil in me, and going to this fucking sad news, unfortunate news. But I
Yeah.
already knew this was coming, unfortunately, as well, because of the whole situation that's happening.
Yeah.
But DC fandom will not be returning this year for 2022. Not even the visual like event is coming.
The virtual event.
Or the virtual, I said visual. The virtual event is not
Yes.
coming either. So they literally canceled like the entire thing,
Yes.
which is nuts, dude. And I know why. I could tell you that right now.
Oh,
I want to
100%.
hear your thoughts first.
I mean, well, this would have been their third one that they've done.
Mm-hmm.
And the past two have been super popular. It's been getting a shit ton of views.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Especially last year. Last year's was very popular. And even with last year's, they had announced Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. But yeah, like you said, there was at this point a lot of stuff was going down really quick. Obviously we
more like
have
real life problems. More like
well, partially real life, and then there's just a lot of other things because let's see. Some projects have been delayed. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, Shazam, Fury of the Gods. There's one
Flash.
that's kind of there's one that's kind of in like a weird limbo state right now, which is the Flash movie. And then obviously the Batgirl recently got canceled.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I heard it didn't test well with the audience. Like it was really, really
yeah,
bad. I'm like, all right, it might as well scrap it if it's bad, if it's that
yeah.
bad. Like Jesus Christ. Okay.
So obviously right now, and like you said, with a lot of real life situations happening with a lot of these actors IRL, I think they just hopefully they take like a moment,
I think they're playing it safe and not
yeah,
doing it.
stepping
They don't want to
back.
risk it.
Well, it's not even that. It's well, yeah, obviously risking
No,
what you're
because if
putting
they,
out
for
because then it looks
example,
like you're
like if they
supporting these characters, these
not
people.
only not only that, like supporting, unethical, acts or whatever the fuck they're doing. But on top of that, for example, they set another date that's not true, and people are gonna get mad at them and stuff like that. So they might as well just cancel it and just not say nothing instead.
Hmm.
Just keep their mouth shut. But on top of that, I found out as well a couple of months ago they got a new CEO as well, like
Okay.
DC, and he went fucking bad shit, like canceled this, canceled that. Like we're reworking everything from the bottom up type of shit. So that's why what's happening right now for DC Comics.
Good.
So no, they need it, bro. So he
100%.
so he's like straight up like we're revamping all the fucking movies. Like fuck off. We're doing these last two movies or last three movies, and then we're restarting, bro. So up to
Yeah.
the point thinking of getting Henry Cavill back as Superman just to retry, one more time for the
Hmm.
DCEU and shit like that.
Yeah.
They canceled a lot of shows. They canceled a lot of movies. Up to the point where they're canceling comic books as well because they're not liking the way the direction they're going in.
Okay.
I know he said it. This is his words, not mine. That it's getting a little too woke. The comic books that nobody's buying them.
Mm.
You got me?
Yeah, because before
Not
the
even the
whole point,
people that it's supposed to be for, technically speaking, are
yeah,
buying it because they're not liking it. They're like, it makes no sense.
yeah, yeah,
You
because
got
it also like we mentioned earlier with other stuff, like yes, there's a point to where you could hit IRL topics and it's fine, but when it's getting a little too woke, where people watch these shows and read these comics to escape reality, but now reality is going into their escape, then yeah, people
me?
don't want to continue it.
And like, why change up characters that already have like a stigma of like, for a good example is I think Marvel did this by mistake as well. Uh, they brought in I hate getting political like a lot, but I think this was a very, very bad idea of Marvel to do this. Like, I think they should be ashamed of type of shit. So they made a Black Thor. Um, his his cape is a
Uh-huh.
fucking hoodie. Typical shit. He wears sneakers. He calls where Asgard his hood, and dude, it is bad. You got me. It is bad. It is so stereotyping, so stereotypical, dude. Like it is nightmarish like that. Like oh my goodness.
If
And
only you
it's
guys could
funny
see
because
my face of disappointment right now.
they showed the writer, bro. Guess who he was?
He was
The
a white
writer,
guy,
of course,
the whitest of the white,
of course.
albino.
No, that'd be funny if he was, dude. But yeah, so that's why I'm like, oh, man, that is bad. Like that's not what they should be doing.
No, not at all. Oh my god.
That was just an example. I mean, DC, I don't think they're going to that route. I know the one thing that DC has not fucked up in a lot of years is definitely their fucking anime movies. Those have been hitting
Yes.
their stride every
Oh,
single year.
100%. Yeah.
So I'm like, thank fuck, at least they got something going.
Yeah, we went over that stuff. Like there are a lot of darker tones, very serious adult tones, but they hit so well. And there's out of those films, I there's no point on changing anything. Like they've been doing so well.
Yeah, like I think DC should have just gone the route of like Zack Snyder, dude. Just like a darker tone for DCEU, bro. Because literally, I think DC as a general, I think is darker than Marvel. Don't get me wrong, Marvel has some like scary shit. Don't get me wrong. They got some dark topics.
Yeah.
But I think DC definitely hits their stride in that aspect.
Yes, very much so.
So they should just go restart it, you know, and also don't fucking always make movies about Superman and Batman. Like I'm not saying that we get tired of those characters because those are the most beloved out of the two.
Yes.
You got me? There's a whole catalog of other characters, not just them two.
Yeah.
You got me? So
and they don't even have to be movies. They could be like mini short TV series or something. The exact same way how Marvel, yes, how loved is Captain America and Iron Man. But they've given Wanda and Vision a show. They've given Loki a show. They've doing She-Hulk a show. You got me? Like, and then the amount of other movies for all the other characters to create what is now known as the MCU.
I, mean, I wouldn't put She-Hulk too high in the pedestal.
Well, no,
it's the lowest viewed show.
But I'm saying like
as an example, I know
as an example of a side character that's still getting a sort of a spotlight.
And there is a lot of DC dudes. DC has really good characters.
Yeah,
too, bro. It's just like, bro, you guys got so much potential.
They do. And not even just their heroes, they're villains as well. Like the amount of lore behind Joker and Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, like that within
Superman
itself.
Too. He has his catalog of you just named Batman villains.
Well, okay, but
you got what I mean.
We have Zod, we have Cheetah, and what's
Brainiac.
Like every other Flashes, Brainiacs.
Like you have so many potential villains. That you can do, like
Sinestro.
There's
literally just Sinestro.
Yeah, there's anti-heroes they could choose from as well. Like, come on. Like Deathstroke and Deadshot and stuff like that. They got, guys like that.
That'd be so cool to watch.
Yeah, that would be a dope ass show.
Or literally just grab the old Teen Titans show, updo the animation, and re-put that series out there. That whole series was so good.
Yeah, don't do the real life Teen Titans that they tried.
Yeah, don't. No, definitely not Titans.
Yeah, that was not it either. Oh shit, dude.
Well, supposedly it wasn't that bad, but
that's what I heard. I heard the first season was good, but then it just went downhill. It's always like that for most of those shows. It's always the first season or the first couple are really, really good. Yeah, it's like supposedly the show Arrow. I think like the first 4 seasons or first 3 seasons were really, really good. And I just kind of lost interest, dude. It was dragging on too much.
Yeah,
and then I checked out, unfortunately, when the Flash came through. And then, the Flash, again, same thing. I think the first season was really, really good. But then after that, it's just I lost interest as well.
Yeah, because I think
we're doing like a season 9 now. I'm like, yeah, no way.
Yeah, because I mean, at that point too, like you said with Arrow, they put so much of like his popular stuff or stuff that we know into the first 4 seasons that by the time we reach the end, it's just like the outside, out of skew, kind of like the filler episodes that end up making seasons. And
I think they should have, in my opinion, like we got the Flash and all that stuff. So if we got Green Arrow and fucking Flash, like include the other guys, you get me, from the Justice League, and that should lead into that. You got me?
Yeah.
I should have, like, for example, that's a great starting point in my opinion. Literally from Arrow, if they started from Arrow, then introduced the Flash, and then for example introduced within the Flash, like Supergirl, then, we got Supergirl, and then that's how we got introduced to fucking Superman as well, and stuff like that. You got me? Slowly develop everything, but at the same time, don't wait fucking, 8-7 seasons to introduce a character like that either.
Yeah.
Then you're going to lose people.
Yeah.
And they should have introduced Flash in the second season, then, the start of Flash, the show.
Yes.
And in season 2 of the Flash, introduce Supergirl and Superman. Then from there, maybe make a movie between them in the start, And then out of nowhere, do a spin-off of Batman before he joins them. And then end credit scenes of that, he gets introduced into them 4, 5, whatever. You got me.
Yeah. And you see, the way you just set it up there is so good too, because even in Arrow, we met what's his name? Red Arrow, Archer.
Yeah.
And he went to go solo at one point. And at that point too, that is a great way to
For
also
the Young
start
Justice.
the Young Justice series, an
Yeah,
IRL Young Justice series.
yeah, dude. But it would have to be a younger, what is it called? Red Arrow. Because the guy that they chose he was a little older in the show, you get me? But I understood why they chose him as the character at the time because it is more adult themed stuff
Yes.
that was happening in the show. So it makes sense. You don't want a little kid go through all that stuff, even
Yeah.
though it would have been more captivating, in my opinion, if it was a kid. Because then it'll be like, oh my God, type of shit,
Mhm.
going through the issues and all that stuff that he was going through.
Yeah. But I mean, at that point too, it's like, then it just starts getting into the whole thing of putting kids through scenarios, even if it is just acting. Would they be mature enough to handle these mature topics, right?
And I think
And you never
that's the
really
phenomenal,
know.
but that's
You
the
never.
phenomenal thing about DC, man, because that's what makes it darker tone. Because it's
Yes.
literally, bro, can you even think about it? Like why Robin works for Batman? Because he's literally a fucking 10-year-old, 11-year-old kid.
Orphan, yeah.
Literally, like it's nuts to me, dude.
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, it's crazy, and obviously a lot of it is fantasy. But now, are we able to get a kid in real life in the mental state needed to be able to act this out properly
Yeah, I think
and
they could.
emit the proper emotions and feelings? You got me?
Oh yeah, I think there's enough kid actors for sure to do the parts like that. I mean, man, good example of kid actors. I want to say that started as kid actors, right? There's a lot of them. I mean, I can't name one on top of my head right now, but
Oh,
there's a lot of them though, for
yeah,
sure. So, I mean, a good example for a serious adult one would be the kid from Child's Play from fucking the Chucky movies, dude.
that's true. Yeah.
Because look at him for a mature thing. Then I don't know if you've seen the second one. Have you seen the second one?
Uh, yeah, it
Child's
was
Play
a
2?
long time ago though.
Okay, but yeah, he's a lot more serious, dude. A lot more like, acting like way more mature for a 7-year-old. You get me?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, dude. I mean, we'll end it there, honestly, on that because it sucks. We won't see them.
Yeah.
And to wrap this up, we want to give this notice for pretty much, uh, as of today, September 8th,
Eighth.
2022, um, Queen Elizabeth II has unfortunately passed away. Um, you know, out goes, the love and care for the people of, the UK, losing their monarch for sure. Um,
And even more, her actual family who lost a mother, a grandmother,
a
and a
great
friend,
grandmother,
a great
yeah, and
grandmother still. Yeah.
at this point, yeah, and 96 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy to even think about
96.
it, dude.
Yeah.
96, bro.
She was born in 1926, and I believe she didn't come into office until 54.
54 by the looks of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, she met 13 sitting presidents as of now. Technically, she was a reign for 14 presidency, but she only met 13.
Yeah. First one she met was President Truman, and that went straight through to obviously our current president, President Biden. But the only one she did skip or didn't have a chance to meet during that time was President Lyndon B. Johnson.
Yeah,
Um,
Johnson.
yeah, so I mean, 14 presidents is
I know,
is
dude. But she was reigned for technically what, over 70 years?
yeah.
Damn, that's insane. I didn't know this until I saw not only see it here, but she actually was deployed to help in World War II. little side note for some people that didn't know that
Oh wow.
she was part of the medic team,
Yeah.
which
And
is insane to even think about that she was part of World War II to put in perspective of how long she's been with us here.
mm-hmm.
So
It's crazy. And yeah, I mean, the fact that it's still just so mind blowing. Like she was, she came into reign as kids were still alive, and now those kids have their own grandkids, and they're still. We at one point they saw this woman or know of this woman, right? And
yeah,
unfortunately, like that just is now at an end. But still, like it is crazy how many people and probably even lives that she's touched. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. Like seeing so like such older people, you get me, who have done such incredible things and have this history to it. Like think about like even with Betty White, you got me like
I was gonna say we lost Betty White and the Queen in 1 year, bro.
yeah.
That's crazy. Both 95 plus, by the way.
Yes.
That's amazing in my opinion.
Yes.
That is just an accomplishment on its own, bro. Making it
hmm
that far in life. You get me? Only
and even
God's will took him that far.
and even still both of them for being 95 plus have the amount of stuff they've still done as such an older age. You got me like the think of the places she's been at alone in this year. You got me, obviously not the past few years because of the pandemic and stuff, but like still, even Betty White, how many movies or voice lines has she had in so many films? Like it is crazy. And obviously this one, like right now the UK is probably very the whole place is just mourning right now. You got me? Because they all know of this person. Obviously, in the US, it's different because we go from president to president to president. So, seeing one person in reign your entire lifetime.
hmm And now since she's gone, her son, Charles III, now King Charles III, excuse me,
hmm
he is set to take the throne now, or in place of his mother for sure. So it's King Charles III now. He's officially, the reign now. Then after that, I have no idea. I'm not big when it comes to like the monarchs of the UK over there.
hmm
So, but yeah, he is set I mean, he's already been set to be king, and I know they're making probably preparations. And I know there's a tradition that I've heard at least in the UK. Correct me, anyone, please correct me if this is horribly wrong. But I know there's like a morning ceremony that lasts like a week for like a
hmm
queen or something like that, or over a week. So like nothing will get done, or I think they close off the country for like a couple of hours and stuff like that, or a couple of days once a queen or a king dies, pretty much. I could
hmm
be completely wrong on that, but um, yeah, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's super sad, obviously, seeing anybody pass, but this lady was an icon. The amount of fashion pictures she put on, just her dresses alone, she was a fashion icon. But yeah, and it's like, again, I'm not 100% don't fully know everything about UK politics and stuff, but like, but she's done incredible things over there as well. You got me
I
for
mean, for the
some to be
longest
so
living,
beloved by everyone.
she was the longest living reign so far in
Mhm.
all of know of history there. So
Yeah.
that's kind of amazing. She set like set up so much fucking crazy, things for the country, which is kind of nuts. That will live on forever for her. So,
hmm
oh, I
Yeah.
forgot, I forgot too. Now they have to change their. I know there's a what is it called? You know how we have the national anthem, their national anthem. They have to change it. Because it used to be like oh my queen, whatever. Now they
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
they got to
Yeah.
change that now.
Yeah.
And it's crazy they have to change so much things because she's been in reign so many years, bro. So it's like crazy that they have to change so much now.
hmm
So
yeah, and even so, then again, don't want to talk about the future or ill will on anybody, but I mean, King Charles III is already 73 years old.
yeah,
You got me? So, God forbid anything happens to him
happens to the
anytime
king. Yeah,
soon. I'm assuming the next person in line would be Prince Williams.
I believe so. Yeah,
But
He's 40.
even still, then if we're going off tabloids and stuff, I don't know how much that's fully gonna work because I believe Prince William is the one married to the woman who was having a lot of personal life issues with the royal family. And they were the ones that kind of separated themselves from the royal family a little bit.
I think so. Yeah.
So,
But I mean, after this situation, we don't know what would happen. You know,
no, well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it was personally between the queen and his wife, or what the whole mashup is there. But again, that's just further down the line. But right now, it's King Charles III at the ripe age of 73 years.
Yeah, which is not, that's even crazy to even think about, right? Like Rain, like he's been waiting all these years.
A whole lifetime. That is literally a whole lifetime for some people.
Oh, it's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
That was the biggest story for sure that we had.
Yeah, but as always, our thoughts and prayers to this family. Obviously, we'll be keeping an eye on what is happening political wise. Obviously, we won't be talking about it here because that's not what we do. Mm-hmm. But it is something interesting to keep your eye on, and
that's probably one of the biggest news so far of this month.
Yeah,
like without a doubt. First, like this is a ridiculous story. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but on that note, sorry to bring it down for you guys right before we end the episode. But on that note, Leche, anything else to add?
From me, no. I have nothing so far. Or right now, at least.
Right now. Yeah, me either, really. So, where can people find you, Leche?
People can find me at Leche on Instagram, or you guys could follow me on Twitch at TechnoFreak95. And how about you, Tito?
I am also on Instagram and also on Twitch at OneAlphaPenguin. You guys could follow the podcast on Instagram at TakeASip_pod. And we're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TakeASip. As always, all the pictures are the same across all the social medias. Even for my own social medias, I know Leche is doing one with different pictures of the social medias.
Yeah, dude, that's not for me, dude.
Yeah, but yeah, that's really it. Thank you guys so much for listening. Drink some water. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, follow. And yeah, we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.